Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
So we are going through this she said contributory cause of spiritual master. No, we are in the impermanent, yeah.
Yes.
We already done the spiritual master.
We've done a spiritual master, but before we go to impermanence, we have page 79 and 80. Before we go to impermanence, we have page 79 and 80.
What is that?
It's feedback. She needs to turn down her volume.
Somewhere to make it extra
That's
noisy.
the introduction to part 4.
Okay, I have to mute everyone first. Miss Hui, you can make yourself unmute. Okay, so this is I think Ken said this is the one of the first book, the text give a guide of how to follow to the path, or can say stage, stage of the path. I think maybe first book ever in the Buddhism is July29. And that way I was really amazed with the Kamboba's knowledge, because if you looked in this book, how many quote he bring from the Sutra and other books. That means he read all of them and he remember which quote bring. Then later some other they put the quote because they can copy from like jewel ornament, and so that is showing us amazing how wise, knowledgeable Gampa was. Because sometimes people saying this, I hear this lots of people saying, oh, you don't need to learn too much, just do meditation, practice. Most important is practice, which is based on that subject. Actually, in the also ornament of the Mahayana Sutra, it will come one. So we will talk, and that time is there. But the main point is, I think in the Buddhism, those two have to be together. Knowledge and practice together, and also when even also practice, there's a two, Kamabhati and Vipassana. They have to be together. Otherwise, it's not complete. And I'm not saying about becoming a scholar. Okay, it's just different things. Becoming a scholar is good for the staying in Dharma long time. But even your own personal gain of the liberation, you have to be knowledgeable to what are you doing.
Yeah.
I met some senior monks, long time ago, and that monk said he had done the Five-Fold Path of Mahamudra retreat. And I was curious, because at that time I don't know that much about the Five-Fold Path of Mahamudra. So I asked him what is the Five-Fold Path of Mahamudra? He said, I don't know. So that was really kind of like shock for me. Even that time I was young, If he doesn't know what is the five, how he have done. So that because you can read the text, you can follow to the tradition way without any kind of like your emotion is involved, mentally involved, just physically done. So I don't know how much benefit from that. So of course, with like Kamboba said, if you're not educated, I think through the hearing and contemplate. Dodoje means that cut the doubt. Until you cut the doubt of or misunderstand, is free from the misunderstand. Sometimes meditation alone can become cause to darkness. I think that is possible, and I think particularly these days, many people have a I don't know, because of the need or maybe because of our environment is changing. Lots of people have a mentally challenged. I think now they kind of acknowledge, everybody acknowledging mental is a sickness, it's a disease. So that kind of challenge person, if you do the quiet meditation, sometimes it's not that healthy also. Make sense? So I think need balance for enough knowledge. What are you doing? And when I was young, when I was a little monk, there's a little bit older monk came to do the Ngonjo retreat with my uncle. So my uncle was giving him instruction. So what they done, what I have seen is this monk comes, receive teachings from my uncle, and then my uncle give the instruction, not just only instruction, and make him to memorize in certain word. Like for example, when we're talking about like a precious human body, 8 leisure and 10 endowment, what are they? He make them to memorize. And of course, not just only that one, and the basic, what is, that particular area of the meditation or practice on the Ngonjo. Then he goes back to his place and just study. And few days later, he come back again. And he discussed with my uncle. Then that time, my uncle not give him instruction, basically asking question, like examining his knowledge, how much he learned. So then my uncle think, oh, he's now is enough knowledgeable to can have information that can meditate, that can practice. Then let him to start one session of that from Ngonjo. Then after that done, again he come back, same routines, receive instruction, and he do the homework, study, memorizing, then come back. Then my uncle take the examination, and go back to do actually then reduce. So I'm noticing that one. So I think this is a really necessity for the retreat, particularly retreaters, because when you go to the retreat, you really close door for everyone. You're not allowed to see anyone. You're not allowed to talk to anyone. You're no one allowed to come to your room. So you're your own. Make sense? At that time, then you cannot ask anyone. If you go with the full of doubt, misunderstand, and your whole retreat is just almost waste. I mean, I'm not saying it's completely waste, but it's not complete. And also, when he done the retreat, when he come out after the done, like a refugee practice, done 100,000 prostration, everything done, and he is in the Tibetan we call the offering of the realization, and again discuss how gone the retreat, what he did, or he or she, whoever did, and they just give some kind of like a take some kind of quiz, yeah,
A quiz?
yeah. So if there's something make mistake, and I heard then sometimes they make you to redo, like this is what I heard in the Dugungtil when the Pajur Rinpoche was instructing to the earlier, the monks, young monk to retreat. And one monk went to retreat, refugee, 100,000 prostration. And when he done, then Bajra Rinpoche asked him how he did, and then actually he forgot. There's one praise, P-R-I-S-E.
Or
AIC.
Yeah.
Yeah, praise.
Praise. There's a praise for the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Guru, and there's one particular Chakra. You can see some of our Ngondo. He forgot to do that one. And Bajra Rinpoche made him to do again the whole retreat, because he haven't done that part because it's not complete. So that is a kind of like a take seriously. So that way, what I'm saying is, when it comes to the meditation, you have to have certain knowledge. Make sense? Without any knowledge, I don't know. I mean, this reason, this kind of books, you don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to be anything like a really expert to the Dharma with the scholar, but still, all the necessary information. So the reason, I thought this is, like Khenje Rinpoche always said, you don't need a TV. You don't need a computer. Just read the jewel ornament. All the news of samsara and nirvana, everything is there, So I think so it will tell you all the detailed information about the samsara particularly. So here said method to spiritual master. This is spiritual master is done.
Yeah,
We're done. Okay. Sorry.
She has the introduction to the
Okay.
next section, and then impermanence.
Chapter 4, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, this okay. Yeah, so she forgot to introduction part.
Right.
So basically, this one is we talk about the primary cause as a Buddha nature. We talk about the contribute. We talk about the human life. We talk about the spiritual masters. Those three chapter. So still we are not liberated, because as a Kambova said, still many times everybody have a Buddha nature, and definitely we have been born human life many times, no question for that. But and in the dream that those birth, we met with the spiritual master that guide us. Still we're here. The reason is there's 4 obstacles: being attached to this life, being attached to the pleasure of samsara, being attached to the peace, and not knowing the method. This is the 4 obstacles. So even you have a human life, even you meet with a spiritual master, if you are with these 4 obstacles, there's no chance to be liberated from the samsara. That's what I mean. So that way, even we had many times this chance of being human beings, meet with a spiritual master and practice dharma, but because of that, we never let go this main root of especially first 2, being attached to this life and being attached to the pleasure of samsara. So I think there's a I think English saying is everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to go to now. Not now. So I think that kind of attitude we have, we are not ready. We're not ready to let go of this life. We're not ready to let go pleasure of samsara. I think it's so that's the main problem to continuing. Even when practice Dharma, it never become path through the nirvana. So like we talk about the eight worldly concern, eight worldly concern mean that even we practice the Dharma, it become a route to the samsara. Like lots of people, if you look the people who involved to the Dharma practice, majority practice for become a successful or a worldly gain, becoming successful, becoming healthy, becoming powerful, become rich. I think majority is our focus is on that. Sometimes even spiritual teacher, when they travel to the tour, when they make lots of money, they said, "Oh, I had a really successful tour." It's like musicians, so it's like your success or not is not according to your bank account. It should be, how much you can benefit from your help, your dharma. Then that can count as a success. Make sense? So that way, I think when we look this way, actually, majority of Dharma practitioners are not ready to let go of the samsara. Just focusing how to try to make better the samsara. Make sense? Just try to fix. Like you have an old car, it's not running well, but you just want to fix. You don't want to get rid of it and try to buy the new one. So I think similarly, our main focus is I think majority of our practitioners' main focus is just this life. And some people even saying, I can let go, I can give up my life for my guru or my lineage or for Dharma. Actually, you don't need that much sacrifice. Just dedicate your life for practice Dharma. You don't need to sacrifice your life for the, Make sense? It's much easier, but nobody want to do easy work. They said, even I lose my risk of my life, I can do that for the Dharma. Some people say that when I hear this, for my sake of my guru, sake of my lineage, sake of my Dharma, I can risk my life. Actually, Buddha never asked you to risk your life. Just said, just let go of this life, Just focus more on the practice. Live according to the Dharma. I think, so sometimes we have, this reason, mainly, Kambhoba said, we never become enlightenment. Then, two are obstacle to becoming Buddhahood. They say, being attached to the peace and being attached, not knowing the method to how to accomplishing. So that way, this, like, we talk about these four obstacles: being attached to this life, being attached to the pleasure of samsara, being attached to the peace. Let's talk about the peace means just individual liberation, only me, self. Because if you think about yourself, you never become Buddhahood. That is different. You can get the nirvana, you can get the liberation from the samsara, but you never become a Buddhahood if you only think yourself. So the last one is not knowing the method, because see that way you have to know the method. Doesn't matter you are analytical or stabilizing meditation, because sometimes people think stabilized meditation no need the knowledge, just practice without knowing what you're doing. Make sense? Yeah, sometimes we recite those long mantra really nicely with a melody and have no clue what we say. I have no idea what some of those mantra what they saying. Even 100 syllable mantra of the Vajrasattva, I don't have full information of what mantra it said. Because we learn how to memorize, then we pretend like we know everything and chant like that. So I don't know how much different play in tape record or play, we recite mantra without the knowing. I don't know how much different from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So
a parrot. Like a parrot will
Yeah.
usually say.
Yeah. So I don't know. So there's that introduction part is this one. Now we can go to actually. It's the first one. Antidote of the being attached to this life. What is antidote? If you really want to become a nirvana, if you want to free from samsara, you have to use these 4 antidotes. So being attached to this life's antidote of the being attached to this life is the meditation on the impermanent. So meditation on the impermanent is not only that antidote. Actually, meditation on the impermanent is a preliminary practice of the like preparing you that in the future you can meditate on the Mahamudra. Because without the understanding of the impermanent, without the understanding of the law of causality, without the understanding of the cause and condition, if you directly try to meditate on the Mahamudra, you definitely go to nihilism, which is worse than eternalism. Because when you believe something, unless you're careful, when you believe nothing, then you don't have to worry anything. You totally become careless. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So this reason, I think this meditation on the impermanent is, I think, 2 purposes, can say. First, I say that our practice become free from either worldly concern, particularly whatever we do practice, at least not focus on this life. Because if we're focusing our practice for this life, then we are no different than animals. And actually animals have a better skill than we do. They know how to take care. And they know where they can find the food, what environment is good for them. Then they don't worry about house sitting or anything. They just move around with the environment. Actually, most of wild animals like that. They know how to travel, and they have a summer place, a winter place, fall place. They know best place to find. Make sense? So that way, so we need a little bit better than that. So in the one of the Tibetan master called the Potowa, he said, if you're not including into the 3 different type of capacity beings in the called the 3 purush in the lamb of the path, lesser, medium, supreme. Unless you fear of being born in the lower realm, so that way you're practicing dharma. So unless you have to think about the next life that much. Make sense? So that reason we need to think about the impermanent. Yeah. So this impermanent is basically divided into 2: impermanence of the outer world and impermanence of the sentient beings. Impermanent of the outer world also 2: gross impermanent and subtle impermanent. Subtle or subtle? Subtle impermanent. So this here said, from the down below the cosmetic cycle of the wind up to the 4th stage of the meditation concentration, there's nothing that has nature of permanence. This is talking about the physical samsara. Physical samsara is below, as we said, in our planet, as on the wind mandala. Below is a wind mandala. I think like scientists now saying is what called this ozone.
Ozone, the atmosphere?
Yeah, the ozone. Similar like that. This is in the Buddhism said, we are on the wind mandala. Then fall the rain, lots of rain continually. And now as the scientists also prove that water come from the other planet. Yes, they say water is not from this planet. So in the Buddhism, in the text said, first wind circle like a tornado. Wind circle, that's called the wind mandala. So that was that reason said that below the cosmetic circle of the wind, wind circle, and the rain fall, and the wind hold all the rain, not fall down continually. So hold on the wind mandala. Then when the water is become a really big ocean on the wind mandala, and when it's a stew, yeah, with the wind,
Stirred.
stored it. Water make like
Stirred.
stored, and all the dust form together become island. We have now, I think this is finally also scientists said main body of our planet is water. And what call this land, dry land is a part of the water. Now I heard the scientists even now they said, because before they said earth is the main body and water is a part of the earth. But now they say other way. In the Buddhism, we already said many times, since Buddha comes, said cosmetic below is the wind mandala, on the wind mandala is the water mandala, and the water mandala, then it become the earth on the water. So that is how, so that way it's talking about. So, and this have a Larry and there's like we said below is in this also realm is below is a hell, up on the top of the hell is a hungry ghost, then animal, then human, then demigod. They like especially human and demigod and some part of the god, they surface on the ground, and there are lots of god realm also above the ground. The place is on the top of the space. Land is on the space, hanging on the space, and that is a 6 god realm as a desire realm, and above that there's a 4 different stage of the meditation form realms. Okay, so that is that way is here said is a 4th stage of the meditative. 4th stage of the meditative concentration is that each god realm have the 1st stage, 2nd stage, 3rd stage, 4th stage of the meditation. This become a meditation is become more what called more subtle, more absorb, more deeper. That way the different stage. So we don't want to go to too detail on there, but what here saying is this planet, according to the Buddhism, this planet, first there's nothing. Then slowly like wind mandala, water mandala, earth, and big form, it form. It's called and start becoming planet. And after become a planet, then being from the form realm, they born to here, slow born to the God realm and earth born. So that's called the becoming. The first being born in the hell, first one, is then that is a stop becoming. From there to and many years it is stay continually. It's called the staying. Then one day start destroying. So there's a 4th stage on the planet: empty stage, becoming stage, staying, living stage, and destroying stage. Every 4th stage have an equal timing, take same time. So how to measure the time is if you measure this way, every 200 years, 1 year increase. every 200 years, 1 year increase in lifespan. Then from the lifespan as a 10-year-old to 80,000 become. So that kind of 20 time is a living stage. Then same amount of time also take the destroying stage. After that destroying, same amount time stay empty stage. After the empty stage, same amount time also take the what called the can say rebuild, produce, or like becoming stage. Yeah, becoming stage. So this circulation is a continuum. It take a long time. So when destroying, now is talking about here is when destroying, the destroy is also different. Sometimes it is destroyed by the fire. Sometimes it destroyed by the water. Sometimes it destroyed by the wind. Okay, so when it's destroyed by the fire, it destroyed from the below the earth through until to the first stage of the meditation. Because the first stage of the meditation have a analytical conceptual. That analytical conceptual is like a fire. So they have an element of the fire. So that way when fire destroyed, they burn. First stage, not the second stage. Then this destroying the fire 7 times happened. Destroyed, again stay empty stage, then become again and remain and destroyed 7 times. After the destroying the 7 times by fire, then 1 time destroyed by the water. According to the Abhidhamma, the Buddhism cosmetic. Can say cosmetic? Cosmology. So this repeat like 7 times. 7 times with the fire and 1 with the water. Again 7 times with the fire, 1 with the water. That's repeat the 7 times. Then last one destroyed by the wind. So when destroyed by the water, they go to until the second stage of the meditation, because the second stage have a joy on the meditation. That joy is like water element. So that way they have the joy. So that reason when they destroy by the water, destroy until the second stage. Then third time, when destroy the wind, destroy until the third stage of the meditation. Reason is because wind, the third stage of meditation, they don't have this analytical meditation. They don't have a joyful feeling, but they still have a feeling of a breathing. Kind of, they have a sense of a breathing. They can feel they breathing. Okay, that much conceptual. Because of that breathing sense of an element of the wind, when destroyed by the wind, water destroy until the third stage. Fourth stage, they don't have this false, the meditation, they don't have false of an element. So they're not destroyed by the element, but the beings who born there, they born with their palace and all together. When they died, palace, everything dissolved. So that way they naturally dissolve when the age is end. Makes sense? Die. So that way this all the cosmetic of the
Cosmic or cosmology.
Cosmology of the Buddhism, according to the basically everything can destroy it sooner or later. Some take much longer, some take often. Yeah. So that is talking about the no matter right now we can see the earth is really solid, even we have a tornado, even we have a fire, even we have all those natural disaster, seems like no one can destroy the earth. But when end of the Kalpa, it definitely destroyed. So we said when destroyed by the fire, this is like a butter lamp. butter lamp burned by the fire slowly, slowly. When it's end, there's nothing left. So when destroyed by the fire and destroyed by the water, is like when you put the salt in the water, it dissolves, nothing left. When destroyed by the wind, is when you have a pile of dust, wind blow is gone. That you're not going to see anywhere. So like that, they destroy without any remain. So this is the nature of the reality of a phenomena. You're not going to find anything that is whatsoever cannot destroy it. Even right now we see that those are solid object. When come this end of the kalpa, and their fire, basically the fire is much stronger than now. We said sandalwood's fire is 7 times stronger, harder than ordinary wood. And we say in the Buddhism said also this our planet is circled by the fire circle. Okay, what call this? Like when the meteor hit to the earth, it start fire. So in the Buddhism, we believe there's a fire circulation around the earth. There's called the in the mandala also said last time we have a fire mandala. So this is in the Buddhism belief that outside of this wind, there's also fire circulation. So this fire is 7 times harder than sandalwood fire, and the end of the kalpa's fire is 7 times harder than this ring of the fire. So how many times harder than ordinary fire? 7 times 7 times 7, 7 times 7. I don't know. I mean, I'm not good with the calculation.
So, wait,
49 times 7.
7 times 7 is 49, but
Okay, 7 times 7 is
power.
49. 49 times 7 is
Let's see, 343.
okay, then 343 times 7.
Wait, what is it?
She said 340.
2,301.
So end of the kalpas fire is 2,300 once harder than our regular firewood's fire. So that way, when that time comes, the fire start, it burn everything. Nothing remained. Yeah.
Is this the same as the 7 suns?
Yeah, we say this is like seems like it's like a 7 sun come together.
Yeah, I've heard actually if the current sun up in the sky was 7 times bigger, its size would envelop the Earth in its current orbit. Instead of like
Oh, the
7 different
scientists
suns,
say-
if the sun was 7 times bigger,
Yeah.
we would be in it when it turns into, I guess, not a red dwarf, but when it
Destroy-
expands,
don't-
it's eventually going to get a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Science will say that it's going to get 7 times bigger, and Earth's orbit will be inside where the sun will be.
Yeah, in
will be
the
burned up.
Buddhism, we said, end of the kalpa, there are 7 sun comes.
Yeah.
So that kind of those are similar.
Yes, it is.
And the Buddhism saying 7 sun will come. Right now only we have 1 sun.
Yeah.
7 sun will come. I mean, it's said 7 sun or 7 times harder. I don't know, but normally we repeat the 7 sun.
Yeah.
When 7 sun come, it burn everything. Then nothing remain like a butter is burned in the fire. So that can be a possible destruction. So this is showing us no matter what you try to build a solid, nothing is permanent. Then subtle is like we can see the change of the 4 season. Every 4 season they change. I mean, some place they don't have 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Summer or rainy, only 2
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah.
But still they have change comes.
Yeah.
So change of the 4 seasons. Uh, uh, mm. And rising and setting in the sun. Also, every day we have this sun rising and setting, sunset, sunrise. And actually, movement of the cosmetic, whatever you in the Buddhism we said sun move, moon move, or in the now scientists saying it's earth move. It never stop.
Yeah.
You know, and in India, there was one great Mahasiddha. He was drinking alcohol in the bar. so he was drinking alcohol in the bar, and then the bartender said, "Now you need to pay." And he said, "When sun get here, I will pay. Sun, shadow get here, I will pay." And sun shadow never come there.
Can't wait to get there.
Never come here to drink it continually. Then all the astrology, everything mess up. So time is everything mess up. So King said to some people to search to there, maybe some Mahasiddhas, there's some miracle power playing. So then they found out that him, drinking continually, and those king's messenger, they request him to please let go the sun, and he said, "I don't have money to pay. If you pay my the drink, then I will let go." So then the king's people, they pay the money for the beer. Then when he let go the sun, actually midnight. So what I'm saying is even they show the miracle power, that kind of power that can hold the day. Seems they make day long or sun stay longer, but actually reality is no one can do that one. Make sense? So they show they have the miracle power like that, but they cannot stop the time. Because when he let go the sun, it's already midnight. Make sense? So even that kind of powerful being cannot change the reality itself. They trick with us with their miracle power, but they cannot trick with the time of reality. Because so that is the sun rise and set. It's never stop. Then our lifespan is like also another one is like a water, river. Well, like lots of people said, "Oh, I've been in that river last time." We said that one, but last time river is gone so long ago. It's no longer there because of the continuing. Same thing is like, "Oh, I met you a few years ago."
Yeah.
We said that one. We know each other from sense this and that, but what that person in that time and now is totally different. Only the continuing is. Make sense? So that continuum never stop. But because of that continuum, sometimes we say, "Oh, I know this person, I've been that place," or So it's just like a river. Water change, like a Potomac River, water change every day, every single second it change, but the name will not change. Make sense? And the longest in that area is always be Potomac River. But water changing actually. So it's like sometimes like that, Sometimes we're not noticing, but it changes, changing. Our life that way never stop, continuing. So that is a subtle impermanent of the environment or universe, outer world, and impermanent of the sentient beings. So this impermanent of the sentient being, also impermanent of the other, and impermanent of the self. All sentient beings are impermanent, or the other mean the. So I think it come later, so we will not repeat this one. So like no matter what you think, sentient beings there, you know, the powerful beings comes, spiritual power, military power, skill, but no one can escape from the impermanent. Make sense? It come later, so like sometimes when you think about that one is so last actually when you think about that, you know, uh, I was you know, one day I was visiting Jefferson's Mount, what call this?
The Jefferson Memorial?
No.
Monticello?
Monticello.
Sure.
So I was thinking about his life. I'm sure he pursued lots of, you know, try to build his life, create this and that. But I mean, unless we remember his name, but how many beings come on this planet? They try to build their own reputation and name and this, but everybody's gone. So what is point about try too hard to build those things? Really? Sooner or later you have to leave them. You know, no matter how you know, so sometimes things like that when it make you, you know, more mind trained into the Dharma. Actually, for me, it's really helping when I think about those things, and no matter how they work hard, I mean, just some point gone, and lucky one history to remember, but rest is nobody remember. Only few of them remember. Honestly, yeah.
Mhm.
So just so that way, just think about the sentient beings. They are nothing, no beings who are, you know, permanently live. And impermanent is the self, then ourself also. We are changing every year. Lots of people like the celebration of the birthday. Actually, celebration of the birthday is the same as a going to execute into the place.
Yeah.
Every birthday is we're getting closer and closer actually, but we don't think that way. We're exciting. Oh, my birthday is coming. So, I don't know. So investigation the permanent oneself, meditation on the death, meditation on the characteristic of the death, meditation on the life exhaustion, and the meditation on the separations. You know, so so just remember what does death mean, what is characteristic of the death, and life exhaustion, meditation on the separation, like loved one. We all separate from so sure. I think here this need add in the text in jewel ornament. I think this is important. Should add. It's called the basically it's called the Chiwokutu. Ninefold I think something called ninefold reason to meditate on the impermanent. I don't know, in the Tibetan it's called the Chua Gotu. So this one is the first, there's a divided into three because sorry. 5, 3, but it should be 9-fold. Impermanent meditation on the impermanent of the 9-fold, because they divide it into three. Each one have a subdivision, 3. So first one is like I said, I will definitely die. Second said, time of the death will certainty, and the third one said there will be no help when death occur. So there's the first one, I will definitely die. 3 reasons, because there's no one from the past who is alive. You cannot find anyone who alive there, because this body is a composite. It means that many things put together. Whatever composite will really solid. Yeah, like those machines manufacturer, they make really strong, but slowly need a renovation. You have to fix, because no matter how strong they build, slowly fall apart. So that is showing as a because it's built many things put together. So that reason saying is our body is a composite, mean that many put together. So not one pieces. Because life is become the exhaustion every moment, death will be definitely occur. So life never stop. So I think these 3 reasons that said, okay, I will definitely gonna die. So this is it, like have you heard about the Bhutanese? They call the land of the happiness. Yeah. Why they call the land of the happiness? What make them get that title? I don't know, what make them have that kind of expression people have? What's the main reason?
The Dharma.
Not just only Dharma. I think they think about more thing about the death. So they're not going to waste their energy and time and these unnecessary things. Because sometimes we spend so much our energy and the wealth for the unnecessary for reasons. Because we think like I will be here forever. Every time I think whatever we do, you act like we're doing for others' sake. Even cooking, you will have no guarantee that we're going to have chance to eat that food. I mean, the cooking actually come into the eating meal that we have a lot of time. We may not die between those two. So I think it helps us too. So we'll definitely go to die, no matter what. There's no skill, power, ability, method can protect us from that. It's just nature. But lots of people don't want to think about that. Nobody want to think about the death. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Then when they don't know how to handle that. And the people who thinking about the death, think about the impermanent, when it comes, much easier. Really, it's not going to bother you anything. Right now, it seems like say, oh, this is not really comfortable to think too much about this. You know, I'm not good. I don't like this one. But when actually it happened, it might make you really easy. You know, and then it make you really easy to how to handle it. Because when you learn how to let go, and it's easier to reborn in the pulent. Because you don't never think about that, then you always say, you know, even you do prayer, you never think about the impermanent and death. Then when actually come, then you get scared. Then you couldn't, you know. So I think that this is then we get scared and we attach, and that hold us to stay behind. Cannot be reborn in the pulate. Also, it become a problem. Even Dharma practitioner. I heard this. I don't know. This is true story or not. One time, Diguntil monastery, Mongolian came. They destroyed. They set fire all the monastery. So because of the set fire, all the retreat monks flew from this mountain to other side of the mountain. And one monk flying, when he flying in the mid-air, he's remember, oh, I forgot my fire starting medal. There's one medal. That time we don't have matches. There's one medal make the fire. Oh, I forgot that fire. Because of that attachment, he fall down. And many, even they are really highly practitioner, at the time of the death, when they have that kind of instinct, they become a ghost or some kind of really, they stuck here. They couldn't go beyond lots of time. So I think just thinking about the impermanent right now, even it makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, sometimes it's a kind of unpleasant feeling, but it definitely helps you to, you know, how to let go when actually happen. Because if there's a way to not going to happen, then yeah, of course you have to try that one, you know. Yeah. You should try. And if not thinking, by not thinking it's not going to happen, then yes, shouldn't think. You know, you don't want to wish for something unnecessary things. But at the same time, you need knowledge about something is definite. Yeah. So think about this. First is that we are definitely going to die. Reason is these three, because nobody alive from the past, and our body is a composite. It's not like a solid. Composite is showing as it's really fragile, easy to can destroy it, and our lifespan have a what called expired date. Yeah, it will expire sooner or later. Because what is life expire is actually expire of your element strength. Your earth, your fire, your wind, your water become expire. When they expire, it not function anymore. When it not function, then it's called the dissolve. We call the dying. First, our earth die. So that way, when we aging, we have a more wrinkle, more, you know, physically more become kind of like a more tired, more kind of heavier. We no longer have this youth strength and skill. Yeah. Because body is dying, earth is dying actually. That's it. That's a sign of earth dying. Then slowly, our skin is become more dry. We no longer stay the fresh skin. Why? Because of water is dying. Then we get older. Then lots of people have older people have catch cold easier. I think reason is our fire is dying. Then slowly wind is die. Then heavy breathe and not enough oxygen, and lots of people even you have to use the artificial oxygen. So that those are actually dying. This is before you stop breathing, they are slowly dying, expiring basically. So then one day they not functioning, then your conscious have to leave from there because your conscious cannot work with them. Make sense? Right now, all those elements have a functioning as their life. That way, our conscious work with body. So what does death mean? It's a body and conscious separating. Why they have to separate? Because this is no longer functioning. The element is expire. So that is what the death mean. It's a slow come. Its process is slow. Okay. Then second one is said, time of death is certain. Uncertain, or time of death is uncertain, sorry. Because lifespan is indefinite. Because of the body has no essence, and because there are many causes of the death. So these are for three reasons. Time of death is uncertain. We don't have a guide, like my mom always said, one thing she said, I just, she cannot. But she said, I don't want to see your death before my. Only that much she can wish. She just hold there until my death, I mean, other than that, cannot. Because, but so why she's saying that one is because our lifespan have no really, certainty. We don't have like this no. Lots of people saying, oh, 70, you're 75 or 65, your retirement, and but you have a age of the certainty of the when you can retire, but you have no certainty that you will retire actually. Make sense? And you have no certainty that you become old. I mean, people who get chance to retire and get chance to become old, they are lucky one. Really, they live full life, because many people die without before the retirement time. So this is uncertain when death will come, really uncertain. So why is our life is uncertain? Because this is I said lifespan is indefinite. It means that each one have their own lifespan according to that their merit and genes. I think some part of our life is, I think some part of our body is get from our parent, but some part of our body is come from the past life's karma. So I believe half our genes, half our karma. Genetically, some part is really involved, and some part is really karmically. Yeah. Because look, my mom had, I think she had 7 siblings. I think 6 or 7. Only my mom and uncle who practiced Dharma. My mom was nun and my uncle was monk. They live above 80. Rest is died between the 40 to 50. So genetically, their lifespan is not that good. Because of the spiritual and good karma and practice dharma, they have a much longer lifespan. I was really amazed on that, actually. You know, genetically, my mother's side of the family, really, a lot of them die young age. But two of them, because they have a little bit better access to the dharma, so they live much longer. That is I really believe that because of the dharma, only that is only I believe. I mean, only that is a reason to can say. Yeah. So that way, but basically we have a lifespan. We don't have a definitive, and because the body has no essence. If you try to find the body's solid part, there's nothing, no essence. It means that there's nothing good in the body that can keep for a long time. Yeah. And third one is said because there are many causes to the death. Of course, like poison, weapon, and those all is cause to the death. Sometimes things sustain the body, become a cause to the death. I mean, how many people died with the diabetes? How many people died with the blood sugar? Yeah, I mean the blood pressure. How many people died with the obesity? You know, I almost died in the Ladakh because my heart muscle is called the fatty heart. Make sense? So food make that fatty heart actually, and we ate the wrong food. So food's supposed to be sustain the life, but sometimes even food become a cause to the death. Just forget about the poison, weapon, something that can destroy your life. They are, of course, they are conditioned for the, destroy the life, but the body. But even sometimes things that is supposed to be sustain your life, sustain your body, can become a cause to death. So that way, there's so many conditions, so many cause. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why those conditions can, damage to our body? Because body is no essence. Body is really, there's nothing good in the body. Can fragile, really easy to destroy it. Then third one said that there will be no help when death occurs. So we cannot help by our wealth, no matter how wealthy. There's one Indian movie star, he was saying, oh, one day he's a really rich guy. And one day he was sitting in his office and Lord of the Death came, said, you have to die now. That rich guy said, I give you $7 million. Just give me 1 week. He said, no. He said, okay, I give you my half of the wealth. Just give me the few days. He said, no. He said, I give you all my wealth. Just give me 1 day. And Lord of the Death said, no. So that's really true. When it comes, no matter how much you have money, no matter how no matter how much you can afford for all those fancy treatment, no one can stop. When actually time comes, then nothing can stop. So that reason cannot help by the world. And we cannot help by our relative or friends, of course, and we cannot help by our own body. I mean, so I was thinking this one is like like Buddha's body, spiritually Buddha is really powerful. Like one day, some one guy, he really don't like Buddha. he and Devadatta become a friend, and they said, we'd kill the Buddha. And Devadatta gave the idea this guy how to kill, and said to, okay, you go to Buddha and invite him lunch for tomorrow. Okay. So, and if he accept, that means that he have no ammunition because we put the poison in the food. Then on the way, you make the big fire hole on the roadside and cover. When Buddha walk, if he walk on the fire, he will die with the fire. Even he escape from that. When he come to your house, he eat the lunch with poison, he will die. So then Buddha get the invitation, and Buddha said to that morning, said, only Arhat come with me to this lunch. No ordinary monk come. So when Buddha when got to the fire, what call this?
Like a trap?
Yeah, trap, and the fire become lotus. And Buddha walked to their house and he ate the lunch. Nothing happened. Poison not kill him. So Buddha have that kind of Vajra body, because still his body is a element body. Even that one, Buddhas have that kind of miracle power because he cannot stop that element expiring. So sometimes he have to leave that element. So long as we have this element body, no matter how powerful, no matter how skilled, no matter how wealthy you are, you cannot escape from the timing of what is going to happen. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So I think so why are we talking about this one? So one thing is, of course, we can cut attachment, and another thing is we will prepare for the next one, because sometimes we so observe on this life how to take care or everything, and we never do anything for the next life. We never take care of the next life. Make sense? So that is a mistake, because we have a responsibility to build the next one also. Reason is lots of people think in this life your success and all things your hardworking, your education, your those all. It's not. You can have a highest education. You can work hard, but you have no guarantee succeeding if you have no good karma. So of course you are hardworking and education, and they are conditioned, they help. But if you don't have good merit, no matter how hard work, it's never going to be succeed. So this life succeed, or whatever you have good part, you see, not only because you are smart. Your past life did something good. So that way this life you have this all opportunity, this all good things. Make sense? But then now you have a responsibility of taking care of the next one. So one thing is that. Two things is when you think about impermanent, then you noticing what is really truly valuable for you. Because like you can buy really expensive jewelry, you can buy really expensive house, you can buy really expensive car. None of them value when the time of the death comes. No matter how they go, beautiful, they're not going to help anything. Like earlier said, the relative cannot help. Our ability cannot help. That time, when that happened, no matter how successful lawyer you are, you cannot argue with that. You cannot fight the case with, you know, you never have no chance to win. So I think this is then of course, when you think about the impermanence, actually main reason is when you think about the impermanent, then you're not going to see the gross part of the object. You see more detail. More you see the deeper level of the phenomena, you're getting closer to the emptiness. Like before we think, you just said, oh, my body, just say my body. Okay, then said, well, I have one body, and this is singular, this and that. But now, okay, impermanent, it means that then try to think more detail on the body. So you break your grasping of the, oh, my body no longer is there. You're more focused on your arm, your leg, your chest, your back, your head, you know. And when you go to deeper than that one, also you're not going to see the head. Make sense? So that is you see all those like people who export with a car. When they see the car, they know everything inside. They don't see the body outside that much. They don't pay attention on the body. Then they said, oh, this engine is this many what called horsepower and this. They can describe every detail. They never say about the color and design. Their focus is no longer there. Really deeper level. Make sense? So they don't see the car actually. So for us, when see the car, oh, this is a nice color, nice design. That is different. So more you see, more you know about the phenomena, you get closer to the realization of the emptiness. So the reason this meditation on the impermanence is actually preliminary practice of the Mahamudra. If you understood impermanent really well, then you meditate, unless you never become a nihilism. Otherwise, if you without understand of the complete impermanent, and when you try to meditate on the, then it's so. Anyway, you need to add this 9 things, and page, you can see the page 86. There's
already added, Temple.
Okay. So this 9 things you should add. Then applying on the other impermanence oneself. So other impermanent mean refer to be serving another person's death or hearing another death and recollecting on the someone's death. So there's one story. One monk and one ghost become a friend. The monk and ghost become a really good friend. Then the ghost often visit the monk. And one day monk said, please tell me when my death come close. Because the ghost knows who going to die. Every time ghost comes, he bring that information, such and soon in such and such day, such and such one going to die in this area, in this town. So the ghost tell the monk, and monk said, please, when death is coming, close, my death close coming, then please tell me that. So one day ghost come and said, the such and such town, such and such name, he or she going to die such and such days, that's many days. Then ghost left. Then after a few days came and again said, such and such area, there's some name, the person named this one will go to die soon or maybe after a few days. So this ghost come often to talk to this monk and give the information. And the monk said, oh, okay. I'm sure he did some prayer. Then one day the ghost came and said, you're going to die tomorrow, to the monk. The monk said, we agree, you're going to tell me before that. And the ghost said, I told you many times, but you never listened. when ghost is telling him that someone's going to die, they say, telling him that you're going to die too. But monk never listen that one. Never what call that?
Would it register?
Right? No, never like put them together. You know. So that is actually, you know, when you hear someone who died, when you see someone died, someone, you know someone died dead, it will happen to us too. You know, when you see any animal died, they died, I will die like this too. Some way, you know, I may die. So I think this help us to for mindfulness. It will definitely going to happen. So when you remember this all the time, then you're not going to waste your life for only doing something that is meaningless. And at the time of the death, you're not going to benefit anything. Make sense? So I think something like that. Why? Otherwise, I think especially in the Western culture, people don't like this subject. Yeah, most of people don't like this subject. They say this is too much.
Mhm.
This one and next subject, suffering of samsara. But reality is nobody can. I mean, if there's a way to, we can, you know, said, okay, I don't want to part of this, and so that way I don't want to involve with this. Then okay, like otherwise, if something going to happen, definitely, I think we should mindfulness. We should mindfulness. We should remember. So, and because life, conclusion of the life, can say conclusion, summarize of the life is when you're at the time of the dying. At that time, if you die with a regret, no point. If you die with a happily said, okay, I have done everything that I can, then you die with the peaceful. Make sense? So I think this reason, so those two main two reasons, especially if you really want to practice Dharma, definitely you have to let go of these lives consume too much. If you focus in too much building these lives, you know, then it never become sincere practitioner. I'm not saying is don't eat food, don't take care of your health, you know, don't look after your house, and of course those have to do. You have to take care of all those things. Even Buddha, he have a physician take care of his health. He see the physician, you know, time to time. So like His Holiness Dalai Lama have a physician, private physician, 2-3 of them. They see him often, maybe once day, every day, or I don't know how often, but there's like, you know, permanent physician with Holiness. So that's I think important, because we have a precious human life, really precious and difficult to find. But same time, it doesn't mean that just waste it without utilizing. Make sense? So I think that way, maybe thinking about the impermanent also helpful for become meaningful life. I mean, who doesn't want to be meaningful life? Yeah. Okay, then we stop today here with a meaningful thought. Think about the impermanent, but don't forget for eating lunch. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Ms. Y. I think we